Hi everyone, it's Marcy here from Stampin' with Marcy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada, and I sell all of the fabulous Stampin' Up! Products that I share with you. Thank you so much for taking a few moments out of your day to join me for some live crafting. I did not announce that I was coming on. I've just been working away here in my craft room and thought, you know what, I'm going to pop on and show you all what I have been creating. So please, when you join me, say hello, let me know where you're coming from. I hope you all are having a fabulous week, and yay, it is Friday. So I'm going to take a moment here to flip you around and we'll get started. So let's just change that. You're looking out my window. As you can see, we have started to clear off and it's becoming a lovely sunny day. Hold on just one moment while we get you flipped around. Tighten you up. And I don't know if you're going to be able to hear that, but the background, I have Roomba upstairs running, so that thumping is my Roomba giving the floors a good vacuum. Okay, and then let me bring you up on my iPad here. So we are coming to the very end of celebration, or I should say celebration. So don't forget, if you're needing any supplies, that we are still, Stampin' Up! Is open for business. So, all right, I have just shared over to my Stampers group. So yeah, so you only have till Monday is the end of celebration, the 31st. So you've just got a few more days. You've got the weekend to take a look and see if there's any crafting supplies you might need to stock up on, seeing as we have a little bit more time here at home. As well, the joining special ends on Monday as well. So don't forget about that. The awesome Become a Demonstrator, and you get the free mini paper trimmer, as well as a 6x6 designer series stack of paper and a free stamp set of your choice. And the well wishes is, I believe it is $61, so you could choose that for free. As well, we have some new items that have been added to the celebration offerings. Today we're going to be using the lovely Rococo Rose Stampin' Blends that are, let me flip that around, that are available for free with a $60 purchase. While I was playing earlier, I took one of the mini shipping boxes and I covered it with some of the woven threads, designer series paper. So the shipping boxes and the woven threads designer series paper are two other items you can choose for free with a $60 purchase in my online store. So isn't that so cute? Yes, so contact me or head right on over to my shop to get shopping. We still have lots still in this catalog. As well, the coordination product release ends on Monday as well. So that is the fabulous dies that go with all of the stamp sets that are shown, as well as the Pleased as Punch designer series paper. So let me show you. This is what we're going to be creating. Hello, Stephanie, how are you? Are you at work today? So this is the card that I'm going to be creating with you using the gorgeous Flowering Foils designer series paper. And colors are the Rococo Rose, Mint Macaron, and So Saffron the Light. Okay, so I have everything here. And coloring in does take a few moments, so we can just have a chat while I'm coloring away. So how is everybody's week going? Are you having a good week, or has it been a trying week? I hope it's been a good week for you. So I'm just coming in with my dark, and at the center of that flower, and I am just coloring in areas. I like to go dark, my dark first, and my light afterwards. I'm not sure how everybody else likes to do it. That's just the way I prefer to color. That way I don't get too oversaturated. And I like to put down an extra piece of grid paper to help with that bleeding through, so I'm not getting a big mess on my large piece of grid paper. So last night we watched Frozen 2. Is there anybody else out there like me who even tears up at cartoon movies? Yes, I did tear up at Frozen 2. I am a big suck when it comes to things like that. I'm emotional, I guess you would call it. And even cartoon movies can make me cry. Okay, so let's just, I like to turn my work around so that it's always, whatever area I'm working on is right in front of me. And I don't like to go too far ahead. I like to color in just the few areas that I'm working on at a time. So these buds are going to be the dark. So we might as well just continue on coloring all of these in. I love this designer series paper. I've used it quite a bit. And if you are watching the replay on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in. Please give me a thumbs up and click that subscribe button. Hello, Tammy. How are you today? So I'm just coloring in. Yes, I thought today it would be fun to show you a project that uses the couple of the items that you can choose for free with that qualifying purchase. So I'm just adding my dark here and there. It's quite busy in town today. I was surprised. I scooted Buffy down to Pet Value to get a little bit of a haircut. Today was the last day that the grooming salon was open, and I popped into Giant Tiger because it is right there in the same plaza to pick up some chocolate chips. We've got some ripe bananas that are perfect for banana bread or muffins, so I'm going to throw some chocolate chips in them when I make them later this afternoon. And we were all out. I did my grocery shopping yesterday. I like to only go once every couple weeks at this point in time, so I made sure we had milk, bread, all the basics so that I would not have to go out again, limit my exposure out there. But then I didn't realize we were out of chocolate chips, so I thought, well, I'm just gonna scoot really super fast into Giant Tiger and only have to touch the items that I was grabbing. And thank goodness for tap with your debit card. Okay, now close this back up. I'm just going back and forth between my light and my dark. Where there might be shadows here and there. And then after this, I've got to check and see if anybody else is going live in the Global Togetherness Through Stamping, Donna Gray's group. And if not, I will pop on over there with a project. I've got it all ready to go. Whoops, not that end, this end. Have you gotten out of the house much, Stephanie and Tammy, other than Stephanie for work? Have you gotten out to get a little bit of fresh air? It really does feel so good to get out and just get that little bit of fresh air. I went walking the other day and it was quite busy out on the sidewalks, but everybody was observing that personal distancing and going out onto the road or crossing out of the way. I walked the conservation trail a little bit, but it was very busy in there, so I left and went out into the subdivision because the trails aren't very wide. So I didn't want to be in that quite close quarters. So any of this rose gold, I'm going to be coloring the, that's on the sides here, that's the edges of the flower. So this does go by quite quickly. When you're coloring, it doesn't have to be too many layers of color. Just where I would think that it might be a little darker, those bottom petals, or where it kind of butts up against that other flower, that there would be a bit of shadowing. Just so that we've got a little bit of depth happening. Okay. We can always go back in and add a little bit more color if we choose. I know watching somebody color can be quite boring, and I am going as fast as I can so that I don't bore you too much, take up too much of your Friday. I'm hoping it gets a little bit warmer here. I've got some garden work to do, get my flower beds all cleaned up and ready to go for the spring. Although there won't be garden centers open, I would imagine. So I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to get any new bedding plants at this point in time. We'll have to wait and see how long this goes on. Hopefully not too long. And I think, is this the last of that flowers to color? Hello, Marie. How are you? I don't know if this flower looks like one of my big David Austin English roses, or possibly my Japanese tree peony, which has really large buds. This is Rococo Rose Tammy, and then this is Mint Macaron. This is the dark, so I am doing the same thing at the base of where the leaf would be, and then of course along the lines here, that vine, I don't know what you would call that. Getting some cards to mail out, are you, Marie? Yeah, I haven't gotten down to the post office. I want to get them all done. So I only have one trip to the post office rather than multiple. The least amount of times I have to go out and expose myself, the better. Even though I am not at a, I'm not in an at-risk group, and I am staying away from my father and my in-laws who are in the at-risk group because of their age, and then that, so, but if we all do our part, we can get this under control. Staying home is easy for me. I'm used to working. Oh, I see I missed a couple spots right there. I'll have to go in. I'm used to being home because I work from home. Stampin' Up! Is my full-time job. However, I'm an in-person demonstrator, and I really miss seeing all my lovely ladies at my classes. And because these leaves would be just new little leaves with the buds, I am doing them all dark. Okay, we're going to come in with my light. Rococo Rose and Mint Macaron look so pretty together, I think. So do you have this Flowering Foils Specialty Designer Series paper, ladies? couple more leaves, and then the flower centers. And that one little area that I missed. So I posted to Miss Maisie's Instagram and then shared it to my personal Facebook. I don't know if you saw it, Tammy and Stephanie. Maisie, she's such a silly little puppy. She thought that it would be a good idea to lick the ground and chew on some dirt. Got her little white face all covered. I'm like, what are you doing, silly girl? Started taking her for walks. We haven't done obedience yet. Because of the weather, the closest group obedience is in London, and I didn't want to be booking into obedience with her and then having to cancel because of the weather and missing out. So I thought I would just wait for the weather to change, and with the change of the weather came the virus. So now we'll have to wait, and hopefully she doesn't develop too many bad habits in the meantime. Okay, so I'm just going to come with my dark and color in these couple little spots that I missed. Make it very vibrant. And then my centers are my light So Saffron. A very pretty springy color, and the centers of quite a few of my roses have that soft yellow, the stamens in that, so that's how I chose that color. It just adds that a little bit without being overpowering. And there we have it. So we've got that little bit of dark and the light blended in, the dark being in the center. Just so pretty, those colors together. And like I said, the Rococo Rose, you can get those for free as well with a $60 purchase if you are have gotten everything from the other publications that you wanted. So I'm putting this together on one of our Whisper White note cards and envelopes. So, and then I've got a piece of the So Saffron cardstock here. So the base of the card front is 3.5 by 5. So my So Saffron layer here, this layer here is 3 3/8, is it? Let me just grab my ruler. It is, yes, 3 3/8 by 5 by 4 7/8. Now I think, I don't know, should I have this as the top or this area here? Wink of Stella them. I could do that too. And then I'm going to pull in some of this polka dot tulle ribbon, the Whisper White, because it just adds that little bit to it without being overpowering. And my sentiment, Thinking of You, comes from the Little Ladybug stamp set. The one that I'm going to be giving away to one of my Canadian YouTube subscribers. So, and I'm using my 1-inch circle punch for this. So I'm just going to stamp that there. Sorry about that. That was the hair salon. I have a hair appointment on Monday that I am sure she is canceling because that's a non-essential service. So I have not had my hair cut since the beginning of November last year. So I was long overdue. Finally booked an appointment, and now I can't go because all non-essential in Ontario are closed. I trim my own bangs, which I actually did this morning. But it's the rest of it that needs a bit of a trim. Okay, so this is my layering here. This is So Saffron, the base, and that is from the Stitched So Sweetly dies. And then this next layer, the Mint Macaron, that is from my Stitched Shapes. It's the smallest of the circles. So I'm going to pull out my dimensionals here. Pop them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so let's fold this and see what we think. Which way will that look better? I'm thinking like that. So I'm just going to fold this and use my bone folder to give it a good crease, line it up. Okay. All right. So what do you guys think? Do you like it here? And then I would have my ribbon is going to go around, and then my bow would be covering up this flower. Or I can flip it, and that's going to cover more of that there. I could put it at the bottom. I think we're going to go this way. So what we're going to do is, this is a nice stretchy ribbon. And it is in the annual catalog. So I like to leave my ribbon on the spool as much as possible so that I'm not going to waste too much. Okay, I think that's going to be good. So take my ribbon scissors here and snip that off. Let's pull this down just a smidge. And then hold the center so that you can give it a little tug to tighten that. Make that bow a little smaller. And then snip and snip those ends. And then that's going to tuck in there so we can actually, let's bring this down just a bit. We don't want to cover up all of those pretty flowers. And then we're going to just scooch that, because I haven't taped it or anything. That, you can see that easily just scooches from one side to the other. And I can see that this side here, we just need this a smidge smaller of a loop. There. Okay. Let's put some adhesive. And I opened up a brand new bottle of my Tombow. I was tired of shaking the heck out of it. And I had pushed that down. There we go. All right. So if you have this flowering foils, a designer series paper, I would love it if you would post what you have created over on my Stampin' with Marcy's Stampers group. I'd love for you to post and show me what you have created with it. And we're just going to lift that and center that on there. Before I push down, make sure that it's straight. Give it a little push to make sure that we're, and this is a smidge long now that I've tightened that bow. All right, and there we have it. That did not take too much time at all. Isn't that just so pretty? So I will be getting these ready to pop in the mail as well. So if you don't have any questions, thank you, Marie. Thank you, Tammy. Yes, I love this paper. I'm hoping with the new annual catalog, once it gets released, that we have some fancy paper like this in it as well, so that it would be part of our regular supplies to last the entire year, because it is so pretty. And these flowers are just maybe a smidge darker than these, but they're both equally as pretty. So, yeah. So if you haven't joined my Stampin' with Marcy Stampers group, head on over there and join. It's where you can actually post your creations and have better interaction with me and everybody else that's part of that group. If you're watching on YouTube and you have not subscribed yet, please click that subscribe button at the bottom and click the notification bell so that you get notified every time I go live with a new project for you. So I'm going to sign off and get ready to go live over on the global Stampin' Up group that Donna Gray had started. She had posted the link in the comments on Wednesday's Facebook Live. So I will be back again on Monday. So thank you so much for taking a few moments of your time to join me today. I truly do appreciate it. And I hope you have a fabulous weekend. Bye for now.